Hello, everybody. Last week with Ian, you guys worked on OSVEA, which is going to be our process for the pre-shot routine. This includes options, selection, visualization, execution, and acceptance. Today we're going to go through a program that is going to help you with your options and selections part of OSVEA. This program is called Decade. It's created by Scott Fawcett, who used PGA Tour statistics and TrackMan data to help create this system in order to give you the best mathematical probability to score low on each of these holes. So using your options, this is going to help you pick which one of those or select which one of those is going to be the best in each scenario. All right, we're going to start with our tee shots first. So according to Scott's research, the average tour player has a 65-yard dispersion with driver. So that means that from their most left miss to their farthest right miss, they're missing an average of 65 yards left and right. This is important to know because it shows that they are not perfectly accurate with their clubs. The research also shows that they miss equally left and right of their intended target line. What they do better than the rest of us is that they make sure that they do not miss on the side of the hole that has the hazard or water. So they may miss left and right 65 yards, but they've chosen a target that excludes the high number from coming into play. Using this research as a guide, we can visualize this on the golf course using Google Earth. So what we've done is created this cone. And for this example, this cone is 270 yards long for the driver, 240 yards for the 3-wood, 215 yards for the hybrid. It is also 70 yards wide, so it's just slightly wider than the tour average. Looking at this hole from Sassamon, which is the 4th hole, par 5, what you can notice is down the right-hand side of this hole, pretty dense forest and trees. So we're essentially playing that as out of bounds, because if you hit it in there, you're not going to find that golf ball. So what we're going to do is we're going to set this cone touching that right edge of the edge of the hazard on the right-hand side. What this does is it puts our target line just left of center of this fairway. And when we're talking about target lines, we're talking about where we want the golf ball to finish. Your start line is going to be determined on which shot shape you're going to feel most comfortable with. When we set this target line down the left-hand side of this fairway, it does bring in to play some rough on the left-hand side. The rough on the left-hand side is not as severe as the out-of-bounds penalty on the right. Therefore, we're more willing to miss on that left-hand side. So this target line will give us the best chance to keep the golf ball in play and avoid the larger number. Moving on to another hole at Sassamon, the 6th hole, shorter par 4, we can use this same cone to evaluate this hole. So if you notice down the right-hand side of this hole is all out of bounds. You can see the boundary fence right there on the right side of the cone. So using this cone, again, we're going to set that right edge along the boundary fence. That puts our target line again kind of left-hand side of the fairway here. The misses on the left, sure, they're going to be in the rough, but they are not going to lead to the penalty strokes that we would be taking hitting it out of bounds. So this target line is going to be left center. So as you set up, whether you're playing draw or fade, you are going to try to land this golf ball left center or left edge of the fairway. This is going to give you the best chance to avoid the large numbers and to score lower in aggregate. Moving on to the approach side of golf, as you can see on the left-hand side, Scott has created a decade card. On the left-hand side, we have each distance, and we have a target adjustment number next to each of those. We'll be using that more in the examples ahead, but keep that in mind. Moving on to the right-hand side, this is Augusta National hole number 15. So par 5 on this, so we're going to talk about the approach into this hole. What you can see is that I have labeled front, left, right, and back behind the green. we've labeled the severity of the miss for each of these locations. So the decade system has a scale of 0 to 3. 0 meaning fairway, so the best place to miss it. 1 is just your standard light rough. 2 is a bunker, your long rough, or anything with a severe slope to it. And 3 is going to be any of your hazards, so water, out of bounds, penalty areas. So looking at this hole, the left side of this, fairly flat in the rough, we're going to label that a 1. Behind this green, we're going to label that a 2 because of the severe slope that drops down behind that and runs to the water behind. Right hand side of this green is a 2 because of that bunker, and of course, short of this hole is 3 because it is water. So we're going to be using this system to determine the best shot into each of these holes. Heading back to Sasabon, we are going to use this system on a couple of the par 3s here to get familiar with it. So on this hole, we're going to say that this pin is playing 130 yards today. So going back to Scott Fawcett's card, we are going to see that at 130 yards, we are going to make a 7-yard adjustment to our target. What this means is that we are going to aim 7 yards away from the nearest edge of the green. So what that means is because that pin is on the right hand side, we're going to aim 7 yards left of the right edge of the green. Now looking at what our hazard numbers are labeled, we can see that that whole right hand side of the green is labeled a 2 because of the bunker and the long rough on the back. So what we're going to do is we're going to add 2 yards to our 7-yard adjustment, giving us a total of 9 yards away from the right side of that green. So to avoid the trouble on the right, we're aiming 9 yards from left of that right side of the green. We can see that the pin is 5 yards on from the right. So that's going to give us a total of 4 yards left of the pin. Because the pin is in the center of the green distance-wise, we are not going to change our yardage. So our new target, where we'd like the golf ball to finish, is at 130 yards, 4 yards left of the flag. You can see, given the proximity circle, the hole is still close to the target, but it eliminates all of the problem areas on the hole. Moving on to another hole as an example. So if you look at the left-hand side of this, the pin is playing 150 yards today. So if we look at Scott Fawcett's card yet again, it'll show us that at 150 yards, our target adjustment is 8 yards. This pin is close to the back edge of the green, so that's what we're going to be referencing. What you'll notice as well, the miss on the back half of this green is a 1. So our total adjustment is going to be 9 yards from the back of the green. That's because the hazard on the back of the green is a 1, standard correction from 150 yards is 8, and the pin is closest to the back edge, so we're going to be working off of that. All right, so we have a total of 9 yards short of the back edge of the green. The pin is on 4 yards from the back of the green, so that means it's going to be 5 yards short of the flag. So the original yardage was 150 yards to pin. We are now going to play this 145 yards. So our new target yardage is 145 yards. That's where we'd like the golf ball to finish. Since the pin is kind of in the center of the green, we're not going to make any left to right adjustments. So we're going to aim right at the flag, trying to finish this golf ball 145 yards. I understand that this process can seem a little confusing at first. It does take a few repetitions for it to become familiar. If you do have any questions, please feel free to reach out to myself or to Ian. We can help you along with this process if you need any review. Also, if you have a tournament coming up and you would like to review the golf course using this system, help you pick some target lines or some problem areas around greens, please let me know. I can show you how I go through the golf course, label things, and put the driving cones out. So I'm always here to help if you'd like. Also, if you have any questions, please reach out. Thanks for listening. Hope you enjoyed it.